show is not intended for children, people with heart conditions, and ladies. Hold on tight. You will get wet on this ride.
Yeah, yeah. Well, guess who just got back today? They're wild out boys that have been away. Haven't changed, haven't much to say. Man, I still think them cats are crazy. They were asking if you were around, how you was, where you could be found. Told me you made you live downtown, driving on the old man crazy. The boys are back in town. Say, the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
And now, live in the studio, your hosts, Tom Mealy and LJ James.
Welcome to the Seance Hour. We are here this hour to contact the dead spirits of those that have passed beyond us. That is why we have all these candles in the room, because you know dead ghosts really are attracted to flames, such as the moth in the summertime. Am I correct, Tom? What's up?
You're fucked up. There's no
What's
doubt.
with all these candles in here, man? I feel like we should be having a seance,
But
man.
I don't know. You know what the problem is the women think that these candles make a nice smell, nice aroma.
Do they? They say I smell bad?
I don't know. I mean,
I use that body wash, man. That chocolate body wash makes me smell like a candy bar.
I've never seen chocolate body wash. Are
Yeah,
you serious?
yeah, it's by Axe. I think Axe makes it and Tag makes one and two.
It's chocolate. It makes you smell like chocolate.
Makes me a hint of
Who
chocolate.
wants to smell like chocolate?
I do.
You know, Vicky got me it was a spray, but it's like a body spray.
I have that too.
But she
Smells like
didn't-
chocolate.
She didn't tell me it had glitter in it.
No?
Sprayed this stuff on me, and one of the girls at the office
You're lucky it was one of the girls.
"Are you glittering?" And I said, "No, where?" And I actually sprayed some of that stuff that had glitter in it. And here I am sparkling throughout the whole fucking day.
Yeah, it's not good, man. You gotta watch out the clubs you go to. You start dancing. There's places you could be at.
So let
where-
me ask you a question there, Mr. LJ James.
What?
I understand you got a new pussy. I mean, cat.
I did. I got a kitten.
You got a kitten. Tell me
I
about
was interested. Well, we know I've got the new house now where I'm living.
it. Yeah.
Had the party, which you missed again. You know, I had a nice party, but you were busy.
No,
I
actually,
know.
you know, I was out with
I
who was
know.
the guy that was here last?
Ian.
Big G, little
Ian.
G. No.
Oh, I don't know.
G-Man,
The guy?
Joe Man, what was it? G-Man.
G-Man
I
was
got to
there?
tell you something, because I know he's watching tonight. He's a really cool dude.
Was he
You
good?
know, yeah, he really is.
You see,
You
he
know,
could play, man. He
let
could
me
play.
tell you
I thought he was a great musician.
The guy played great.
He was insane.
The guy was good.
He's a little more insane than me, and that says a lot, man. People are more insane than me. I get a little
You know,
nervous.
he was a little hyper that night, but I got to tell you, all in all, we had a great.
Had a good time?
with him. You know,
No.
no, I mean the night that he was on the show with us.
Oh no, that was hilarious.
It was amazing.
Hey, listen,
It was
I'm not asking people. I'm not asking people to come on here and behave themselves. Believe me, hey.
No, it was a great deal.
I
It
wouldn't
was a
say-
great deal. But he's he
But-
was a little off the wall.
I got a cat. You know,
Tell me about it.
I know.
What'd you name
So I named it River.
River.
After the street.
He
I live
ain't
on.
going to see the river, is he?
No,
I mean,
no. So I got right. That's a little orange cat.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, man. Was looking for a home. The person who had it had the mother and the cat. The cat had a litter. Looking for all the babies. This was the last one.
I don't mean to, you know.
So I took the cat.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
You always interrupt me.
No,
What are
but
you
I
talking about?
just got to ask them a question. Can I ask them a question?
Who?
The people out in the.
Are they going to answer you?
Yeah, Evie, are we up on that little one? Oh, okay. Never mind. Go. You're on.
What do you mean? Are we up on that little one?
It's a thing between her and I. Don't worry about it.
I don't like when things are between
I
you and
just wanted to know.
You make me nervous.
I wanted to know if I was on the little one.
Yeah, you got a little
Yeah.
one, right?
So talk to me. Tell me about this pussy cat.
So it's a little cat, and I've had it for about 3 days now.
Where'd
I
you
got
get
it
him?
Monday night. A friend of mine had it. Like I said, they contacted me, said they didn't find a home for this kitten. Otherwise, it was going to be like abandoned or whatever. It had no place to go, and
You know, I got to tell you,
I said, I'll take it,
out
man.
of all the bullshit that I hear, and all the people who think that L.J. James is this, you know, kind of really rough around here, I got to tell you something. When it comes to animals, I have to say this. People, if you're watching me, when it comes to animals, I have never in my life, other than my wife, have met somebody who is so sensitive.
I'm not sensitive to freaking animals. What are you talking about?
You bullshit.
I lost animals.
No,
Listen,
you
I have a new house.
You have this thing about animals. I got to tell you, if I was an animal, I would want to live on.
I have a new house that I'm living in. All right, I have a new house that I'm living in.
I would want you as my
I
owner.
was thinking of maybe getting a fish tank, you know, but my old place I had a fish tank, and you know what? Fish tanks are a pain in the ass.
No, I'd let you be my master.
Oh yeah,
master. He is a master.
You know what? If that did it for me, man, I'd be the luckiest guy on the planet.
I would.
That scares me a little bit.
I would be your dog.
I want to change this topic. I'm not liking where this is going, man. This is starting to scare me a little bit.
No, I would want you to be your master.
Yeah, all right. You know, I'm getting really it's getting a little queasy on the stomach here, man. It's really starting to turn me off here.
So anyway, how's your week been?
Week was really good. I got to give a shout out to Grand Prix Motorsports. All right, Grand Prix Motorsports. My buddy Tony owns that. It's over in Deer Park, and he's a new sponsor. You know, I do the bike nights. All right, I had the bike night, which I do at Speakeasy in West Islip. You know, everybody knows that. Check me out, Facebook.com/AmericanBikerX. And I'm doing the other one now. And
Ian's place.
I'm doing it at Ian's place, which is the East Hampton Bar and Bowl, man.
Do you like pigs?
Like
you know, like the real pig roasts?
No, I love pig roast.
I met this guy, and I wanted to
I'm saying that to my new sponsor.
He's right over in Lake Grove. He's got this bar that
I could finish anything. That's tough. I need to talk.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't talk.
I was done. I'm done now.
Right. Anyway, he has this new bar over in Lake Grove, and I met him the other day. Nice guy. It was a sports bar. They converted it over, and they're looking to do something like a bike night or something. And what they would do every night for the bike night is they would get a full-size pig, almost the size of this coffee table, at their expense, and they will roast that through the day and have it roasting for the bike night.
I'm willing to do events. What I'd like to do is, like I said, I have the one at Speakeasy, which I've been doing. I've been doing that for about a year and a half now. That's growing great, man. That's just packed every month now. Even during the wintertime, people are showing up. It's a really good time. Everybody loves it. I mean, I love that bar. All right, so that's like my home base right there. So now I don't want to do anything too close to that. So which is why I did the one out in East Hampton. It's over 60 miles away.
I know, it's far.
So I'd like to get one maybe next year over on the other fork, on the North Fork, out by Greenport.
Over in Lake Grove. I mean, you really should.
Not too close. It would just hurt me altogether because people. So I want to get one over on the North Fork, somewhere in the Greenport area. It'd be nice to do a bike night next year. And then I'd like to say Nassau, somewhere on the North Shore. Maybe somewhere over in the, was it Bayville area? Okay. I'm thinking over that way. So I'd have 4 of them over the course of the summer, every month. And, but I have to get a good price for it. It's going to be the right price, all right? I'm looking to make money on these now. And like I said, I've been doing it too. I've proved myself as an entity. I got my sponsors now. And when I do it, it's going to be, like I said, to me, it doesn't make any sense to do.
So many sponsors to come on the show and talk about
it doesn't make any sense to me to do anything too close to one where I'm already doing. I have a great bike night here, and if I do one too close, it's just I'm going to be competing against myself, and it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm only going to hurt myself, and then people are going to say, "Oh, his bike nights suck," and then nobody's going to want me.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
I want different crowds.
Who do we have on the show tonight?
We have, they call him Preacher, all right? He does a blog. He's been doing a blog for a while. It's called Sucker Free MC, and it's about motorcycle clubs and about the history of them and how the brotherhood, and it's not just clubs, but it's about the brotherhood. And I've been reading it for years. I mean, a lot of things he says.
That I see they're wearing the shirts that say Sucker Free.
Yeah, they wear the shirts. Everybody's wearing them now.
I saw that. Now let's and I'll wait till he comes in. I'll talk to him more about the sucker part of it. I'm only assuming what the words mean.
Well, he'll explain all that to you.
Yeah.
But like I said, I've been reading it for a while. Like I said, I like a lot of what he writes. Some of it I don't agree with, and some of it I do. I mean, I've been into the biker world a long time. I had the radio show. I've been writing on the stuff and all that. But he's, I got to say, he's at least as dedicated as I am to what his beliefs. And You got to respect someone when they believe so that strong.
You know what?
You got to respect it.
As you know, I had backed out of the biker community for a little bit because I've been so busy with this, and I apologize. But that's true. You know, the people in the biker community, and I'll say it from the day I'll die, that those guys give from their heart, and they truly do. And if you ever want something done, you got to call somebody who's got a club. And it truly is a good brotherhood. There's no doubt about it.
Well, I think that's part of what what his blog's about, is that you have clubs.
Oh, shit!
What?
I got great news.
What?
Oh, and I'll tell you when you're done.
All right. Well, I'm just going to say, that's what his blog's about. It's about, being a proper motorcycle club. Yeah. Too many people out there just throwing patches on and thinking that they're sons of anarchy. Right. So, but I'll let him explain more of that when he comes on.
Let me tell you, I got to tell you what's happened, because now it's yearning from within me.
Okay.
You know how this shit happened up in Pennsylvania? Remember last year, November?
What shit?
Remember when I got arrested?
Oh, yeah.
You remember Deputy Dog and his partners arrested me? Okay. And you remember all this time we've been waiting for the video because they said there was a video?
Yes.
Right. We got something in the works, which I'll tell you once.
Did you get the video?
Works. I finally got the video.
Well, why don't we have it on the show here?
You know what? I got to find out if I can, because it would be really interesting to watch this video on the show. But what they did, these people must think that we're fucking stunad, that we're stupid people. I don't get it. They're the ones that do the inbreeding and got the brain problems. They're thinking that we do. They send me this video. I put it on my computer. Brett shows me, he says, Tom, your video came. I put it on the computer. Now, the first thing, what would you look at on a video? Well, never mind. I'm not going to. Exactly, the time. Right. I looked at it, and I see the cop car. It starts at, let's say, 4:47, and it ends at 4:52. When they had the video they showed me, already shows me in the fucking cop car. It shows me in the back all locked up after the fact. Where's the other part of the video?
They're not going to give it to you.
Why not?
Because it proves them guilty.
Okay, so I proved my point, right?
You did.
So now the question is,
that's why they're not giving you the video.
Should I or should I not file a 1984 federal action against them, civil rights action against them, 1984?
Well, on the one hand, I would say you should, because that's your right. On the other hand, I would say you don't have a snowball's chance in hell of winning in that backwoods inbred area.
But it's not in there backwards. I file it in federal court. We bring it down into the Eastern District. It's tried down
I
here.
think you should do it.
Should I go after that fucking fat
you know what? For every person out there who does not have the power that you do, as Tom Mealy, the working with the law firms and all that, and the knowledge you have, listen. If this is happening to you, how many hundreds of other people has it happened to?
You know what? That's my point, LJ.
You know
what? I got to tell you. I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. But I think the video is the thing that broke the camel's back. If they would have been honest with me and sent me the real video, maybe I would have said something like, "Okay, you know what? Let it go." But listen, again,
I sent you the story. I sent you the story today, this week. All right. About the guy.
I have it. I have the clip.
Do you have the video?
I have the video. You want to
show it?
You want to show it now while we're in the middle of this?
I think we should show this video.
Can we show that video?
I want to talk about this story.
You're watching the Tom and LJ show. We're gonna
go to a video for the story. Let me explain it real quick. The video. This is this video, and it's the news clip. In this video, there's a guy who basically he was in his home. He's home there. The police are looking for a suspected murderer. They go to this guy's house at 1:30 in the morning, all right? A bunch of cops banging on the door. From what I heard, they weren't in uniform, banging on the guy's door at 1:30 in the morning, all right? They don't announce themselves. They open the door. As the guy opens the door, he's got a gun in his hand, the guy in the house. They shoot this guy and kill him. They have the wrong house, the wrong guy, and now the debate is whether or not who's at fault here. Let's watch the video.
You know what? Let's watch the video, and when we come back, we'll talk about it.
One, pow, 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 pow.
Many in Blueberry Hill Apartments awoke at 1:30 a.m. to gunshots.
I was in bed and heard about 7 or 8 gunshots. got up, looked out the window. By that time, you heard a woman screaming.
The girlfriend of 26-year-old Andrew Scott, say neighbors. Lake County deputies knocked on Scott's door looking for the suspect in an attempted murder. Deputies say they did not identify themselves before Scott opened the door.
He already had a gun pointing it at deputies. They pulled the trigger immediately, shooting and killing Scott right inside the door of his own apartment. But it wasn't until more than an hour and a half later that Lake County deputies realized he was not the person they were looking for. The man they were looking for was actually in this building right next door.
He is 31-year-old Jonathan Brown, wanted for attempted murder. Leesburg police say hours earlier, Brown and Anthony Rodriguez attacked a man outside this house on Marietta Street and were about to smash a cinder block on his head when a stranger walked by and stopped them. This man, who wouldn't give us his name, says he was that victim.
I have no idea who they are. It was a freak accident.
Brown and Rodriguez eluded authorities for hours until Brown parked his motorcycle outside Scott's apartment. Now, this community wants to know why deputies did not identify themselves before knocking.
There's things I would have done different, but that's, you never know when you wake up out of a sleep and you have somebody banging on your door. You don't know what's going on.
It's very sad.
It's a shame.
You feel sorry for the guy, right?
Yeah. He was good people. He was a nice guy. He was a very nice guy.
All right. So basically, you saw the video. I saw the video here. I mean, it explains the things. We don't know the exact facts here. But if at 1:30 in the morning someone's banging on your door and they don't announce themselves, you would not assume it was the police. You would assume that it was somebody in a questionable area that they're trying to come get you.
What do you mean a questionable area?
Well, I'm saying questionable area because I don't know how the area. I mean, there's a murderer. There's a murderer running around the area. The police are looking for a murderer. I don't know it's a bad area the guy lives in. But I'm assuming, since there's murderers in the area, that it's probably a questionable area and there's probably crimes going on. So, I mean, and the guy's got a gun. I mean, but the one thing that really annoys me is people kind of somehow, when I'm reading the questions under the comments under the story, people are kind of stating like, oh, like the guy deserved to be shot because he owned a gun.
Did he have a license for the gun?
They didn't say anything about that. So
let's assume that he didn't have a license for the gun. Let's assume he didn't have it. Now, where did this take place?
In his home.
What town?
I don't know.
It was somewhere down south.
I'm assuming.
Okay. The gun laws are different, so I'm going to assume, like Texas, he had a right to carry this gun.
He had a right to carry. They didn't say he had an illegal gun. They would have said that.
You come to my house at 1:30 in the morning, and I'm
banging
a working
on the door.
man, banging on the door like all hell broke loose, and I got my gun, I'm pulling my gun. So he opens up the door. The question is, did he open up the door and have the gun behind him, or did he open up the door?
I don't know.
You see,
they
that's
haven't.
a problem.
Yeah, they haven't.
But let
said
me
that.
ask you a question. Let's assume you're a cop. Well, let's assume, which, by the way, will never happen on this lifetime, unless he turns in from a fucking alien. Let's assume you're a cop.
I don't think they'd allow me.
Let's assume you're a cop. All right, and you come knocking on my door, and you're looking for a murderer who you know has got a piece. You got your gun drawn. I open my door and I got a gun. What are you going to do?
Well, obviously you would shoot. If anybody's pointing a gun at you and you feel your life's in danger,
so then where is the answer to this?
Well, my answer is this simple, all right? And, it may seem a little, LJ-ish or whatever you want to call it, but my thing is very simple, all right? First of all, they had the wrong address. They frickin' didn't announce themselves. They did their job completely asinine. Maybe these guys... Let's say these guys didn't have any criminal intent here. Let's just pretend, let's just assume, not pretend, let's assume that these guys are just complete and total assholes. Retards. They're stupid. They're the cops, all right?
We get the point.
Listen, they're idiots. So these group of guys, all right, who probably spent 3 weeks and got their frickin' badges from frickin' Cracker Jack Barrel, these guys should never be allowed to practice law again, all right? No matter what the outcome of this case is, these guys really screwed up. They killed the guy. And here's another thing that's really pissing me off, right, with this story. And I don't know for a fact, but I'm thinking, if you see the picture they show of the guy, the victim, they show him. He's got long hair. He kind of looks like me a little bit. It's kind of a little sensitive, He's got the long hair, the beard, and all. He kind of looks like, like a slacker type guy like I am. Hey, listen, what can I say, But This is the best picture they had of this guy. This is what they did with the Trayvon Martin case and all that.
Yeah, they
with
use
the kid.
picture.
They use these pictures
right,
to make
now
it
what about a
okay.
picture of him in a suit?
Yeah, there's no picture. This is the best picture they could find of this guy.
Well, that's the media
no,
for you.
this
That's
is the
media for you,
media
and that's
trying to
probably what they
brainwash
told-
us.
it's probably
I'm
what they
tired
told
of
you to
this.
do.
I'm tired of it. I'm really.
I don't
and
know.
the
I got a
people
mix.
are being fed. We're being fed the bullshit, and everybody's believing it, man.
I got mixed emotions on this. I don't know which way to go on this thing.
I don't
but
know.
all
I got
know is-
stories to tell you.
Let's take it now from a litigation point of view, and this is what people don't know. Now, this
Let's
guy,
pretend you're an attorney.
This guy, huh?
Let's pretend you're an attorney.
Let's pretend.
But that'll never happen.
Okay, never in a million years. I'd have to take a pay cut. But anyway, they said, say it, dick.
You
dick. But let's assume for 1 minute. Now, I forgot what I was going to say.
I don't know.
Oh,
what you
I know what I was going to say.
I'm glad.
Is this guy married? This dude married?
I don't know.
All right, let's just. I don't think he is.
They didn't say he was.
The sad part, if this took place in New York and they sued the municipality, do you want to know how much you think that the family would get for this?
I have no idea.
Let's assume he's got a mother and father.
I'm sure he's got a mother and father.
The mother and father, the brother and sister bring a wrongful death act against.
I'm pretty
the
sure everybody
municipality.
had a mother and father
Yeah,
at one
but then
point.
they could be dead for all we know. We don't
They
know
could
if they're
be dead.
friggin' alive.
He looked young.
So,
The guy looked young. Looked like he was 20s.
assuming he
Okay,
had,
we're assuming.
let's assume he had a kid.
Okay.
All right, even better. Okay,
Assume he's
he
got
was
a kid.
shacking up with this bitch. He's got a kid
Down the
somewhere
road.
else with another woman, and that kid now is entitled to a wrongful death recovery.
I definitely think it is.
How much do you think that kid can sue the municipality for?
I would say $700 million.
One would think, right?
I would think so.
If it was the state of New York, you'd be lucky to get 50 grand.
Really?
Absolutely.
Human life not worth here.
No, the problem is this is how
There's
they
so
measure
many
it.
of us.
This is how let's assume, and I'm talking to you guys out there, let's assume your kid who's 6 years old, God forbid, knock on wood, never happens, goes running outside, runs across the street, gets hit by a car, driven by a drunk driver who was an illegal alien who just floated over on his back from Mexico and is driving this car and shouldn't have been behind the wheel, but the car's insured with, let's say, who's my favorite insurance company? The Good Hands people.
Allstate?
The Good Hands people. Yeah, Allstate.
I like
All
Allstate.
right?
I have
so
Allstate.
let's assume they're insured with Allstate.
I like him.
That kid who got hit and got killed is worth less than the same kid who ran across the street and broke his arm.
Really?
And had it in a cast.
So the kid got hit by the car, broke his arm. You can get more money
Get
than if he
more
got
than
killed.
the kid that got hit. The reason is because the kid doesn't hold any value. But if that now, let's say that same scenario.
We learned something on this show
That
this
same
week.
scenario. Let's say that I go running across the street. All right, and
Okay.
let's say all my kids are still living at home.
Okay.
I go running across the street and I get killed.
Okay.
And by the same driver. My family is
That guy should have a
entitled to
license
more
anymore.
under the wrongful death law, which still caps out, I think, at $100,000 because I was a supporter of the family. So I would wind up getting more for that.
What if the 6-year-old was like Doogie Howser? Could he?
If he
would
has
be worth more?
if he's not worth anything, he's not worth anything because he has no children.
Okay.
Let's say that I run across the street and I get hit by a tractor trailer and I lose my leg.
Okay.
That case is worth millions and millions of dollars. But if that same tractor trailer hit me,
Kills
it's
you?
worth less.
That doesn't make a lot of sense, man.
It really
law
does.
is
if
a
you start
stupid
looking
thing,
at
man.
It is. The law is a stupid thing, and I'm going through a bunch of shit right now. But it's. But if you look deep into it and you try to comprehend it and you try to figure it out, it actually does make sense.
Well, hopefully you understand.
Why
because
am I going to
it's
pay?
your job, not
why
mine.
am I can't pay for emotional damages. All right, you got to pay for what it's worth, and unfortunately, that's the way it is. But anyway, listen, we're going to cut to commercial. When we come back, we have
Preacher.
the Sucker Preacher. Sucker Preacher?
No, Preacher from Sucker Free MC blog.
Sucker Preacher.
Let me just announce
Yeah,
it.
say it.
When we come back, we'll have Preacher from the Sucker Free MC blog.
You got to say that 3 times quick. You're such a dick. We'll be right back after this.
Oh, yeah.
Suffolk County Gold Refinery for the highest paid prices for your gold, diamonds, and jewelry with cash on the spot. Visit their showroom for unbelievable prices on fine jewelry and engagement rings. 71 Millbar Boulevard, Farmingdale, 631-777-CASH. Suffolk County Gold Refinery for the highest paid prices for your gold, diamonds, and jewelry with cash on the spot. Visit their showroom for unbelievable prices on fine jewelry and engagement rings. 71 Millbar Boulevard, Farmingdale, 631-777-CASH. For the highest paid prices for your gold, diamonds, and jewelry with cash on the spot. Suffolk County Gold Refinery, 631-777-CASH.
I was nervous about selecting the perfect paving stones for our project.
There are so many choices, I didn't want to make a mistake.
After all, it is our home.
It had to be the most beautiful patio.
An exquisite driveway. A stunning backyard oasis.
I chose Astro for the largest selection.
The best prices.
The magnificent displays.
The finest service and expert advice.
I chose
Astro.
Astro Masonry and Supply. Call 631-242-2567 or go to astromasonry.com.
Hi, this is Mickey B, the Prince of Rock and Roll. Join me for a special oldies show, Volume 2, Saturday, September 22nd, 7 p.m. at the Patchogue Theater, celebrating their 50th anniversary, starring the Duprees. The Brooklyn Reunion, Jimmy Gallagher and the Passions. Emil Stucco and the Classics, The Mystics, Barbara Harris and the Toys, Larry Chance and the Earls, Still in Style, and Directions Limited. For tickets and information, call 516-822-9612, 516-822-9612, or MickeyB.com, sponsored by.
This is Tom Mealy for 1-800-INJURY-LAW. You know, for years, you've heard me talk about people injured in accidents, soft tissue fractures, sometimes even worse. I've made it very clear that you need to understand what happens to your body when in an accident, especially a soft tissue injury. Now, let me get something straight. Firms that try to duplicate my message don't stand up to the years of experience of this team. The bottom line, I am Tom Mealy. The voice you've heard for years, the guy associated with the team of attorneys fighting every day to get you the compensation you deserve. By calling 1-800-INJURY-LAW, I will continue to guarantee my undivided attention as well as the attention of the most talented team of attorneys here on Long Island. Now understand this, 1-800-INJURY-LAW, we're not a bunch of prima donnas. Accidents, they don't keep bankers' hours, and neither do we. It's simple. It's the Harrison Law Group. It's 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
Now understand this. I am Tom Mealy.
Are you sure?
1-800-INJURY-LAW. Hey, listen, we're here with the sucker preacher. No, the preacher sucker? No, the
preacher
preacher
from the Sucker Free MC blog. He
the preacher from the Sucker Free
it goes out
MC
worldwide.
blog.
You know,
I know this guy.
Stop trying to say it and just talk to the guy.
You know what? Why don't you say something?
All right. So, preacher, why don't you let us know, everybody out there, I mean, what exactly is the blog about?
Well, the blog's about following traditional MC protocols. So all I do is discuss basically the rules, if you will. And that's all it is. And I was surprised from the reaction. I started it last year. And next thing you know, it's all over the world. And all of a sudden I've made a few more friends, a lot more enemies, but
there's always a few enemies in there. What are you going to do?
I got one question for you.
Yes, sir.
Did you bring me a t-shirt?
I kind of...
you bring me a t-shirt.
Now, you guys got to pick, though, because I have... LJ told me that you were fat, so, I have...
Such a dick.
I have one of these.
Yeah, well, that's for him.
Right?
What size is that one?
It's a 2X, buddy.
There you go.
That's all right. I'll cut the sleeves off.
Now, and then, so you have the ultra cool Afro chick on the biker girl. And
whoa, what shirt is that?
It's essentially just a slightly different, but the most important thing on the shirt.
That's right.
You see the back?
That's because you said I was fat.
The back, though, is really what's important.
Did he really say that?
No, I never said that.
He said you're huge, actually.
Did he say that?
He did.
Well, he was talking about my...
I don't know. I hope not. I thought this was a different show. This is really the Blue Oyster. I'm wrong place.
Yeah, what are you embarrassed now?
I never said you were huge. I just said you're a big guy like me, man.
No, not even close.
Oh, come on. You're not even close.
More the personality, maybe that's what
yeah, I mean, he's got a huge personality. I think I might even talk about his head. It's not as his head, his ego.
Not his,
No,
but his head. The bit.
No, listen, we got a show to do here, man. Come on.
Hold on, let me fix the strap down here.
But I know, like, one of your recent blogs I really like.
Thank you so much. And what does it say on the back?
Well,
You're a sucker MC if your club doesn't ride.
You have members who don't own a motorcycle.
You
3,
allow people to prospect with no motorcycle. Oh, now wait a minute. Let's back up a little minute right there. I gotta go here. Can I read that again very slowly?
Do you have to?
You allow people. Where am I? This camera here, Vic? You allow people to prospect that don't ride motorcycles.
Who don't own a motorcycle.
Don't
motorcycle.
own it, can't ride it, and has a problem on a fucking scooter with training wheels. Who are we talking about?
I'm not talking about anybody.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
You know who you are. You shouldn't be prospecting in a club. All right. Anyway, what's the next one?
Your patch has no significance.
Your member shares no brotherhood.
Your members share no brotherhood.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, a lot of people get together because they saw a TV show, and they're like, you know what? They just go into 7-Eleven, or you have a bike, and then they go to the next door, you have a bike. Hey, I'm forming a club. Let's all go ride together. But that's not the most important thing about a motorcycle club. More important than even having a bike is having that brotherhood. It's knowing that, you know what? We're more than just friends. We're brothers. I can count on you in the dark and the light, no matter where I am, no matter what's going on. I know that you're my brother.
And it's not just a bunch of weekend warriors just going out there for a ride.
And you know, when I say weekend warriors, I describe them as WEAKEND. Because you're weak in every sense of the word.
I like that.
You're weak
It's
in every
true,
sense
man.
of the word.
Okay. Next one, Neil.
Your club doesn't give respect to real MCs, which is always, you know, it's something I've seen over the years. I'm sorry to take it here because, I've tried to explain to a lot of clubs over the years too, and in motorcycle groups, they'll see like some of the higher groups or the the established groups in the area, and they'll think like, oh, that group doesn't want to know me. Well, they're the top dog. You know, you should go over to them, introduce yourself properly, say, hi, I'm so-and-so, say the name of your group and all that, and get to know them. I mean, it's a family, and listen, maybe you're not part of the family yet, but if you're put something on your back, whether it's a patch or you're wearing something, you want to be part of that group, you need to show respect to the people around you.
I agree.
The people who paved the road before you, I like to say.
Number 8. Your members don't ride to motorcycle events. Well, then let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
There were many times that we used to do motorcycle events years ago, and I used to a couple of years ago.
This year we went to motorcycle events this year.
This year, last year.
I've been to events
I'm
this year.
not talking about you. See, you're talking about the people with the swole. This is the guy. I'm saying when I did the motorcycle events last year, because I haven't really been involved this year.
Okay. Nice.
When I did,
you did say we though.
Get that moot. Can I say what I got on my mind?
You say what you got to say.
Okay. He always interrupts me. My point is, I used to have to drive my car there to set up for the event. Mm-hmm. So does that mean somebody like myself?
No, that's entirely different.
You're not in the club.
What this is specifically referring to. I give you guys,
that's true. I get it.
I'll give you guys a perfect example. Last it was this year. We're going to a bike week down Myrtle, and I'm sitting here with a group of guys. And they're like, all right, so we all agree to go. 2 of the guys say, well, I'm trailing. And I'm looking at them. I'm like, don't you own a trike? And don't you have a Goldwing? Yeah, I don't want to do that ride. And I looked at the president, and I said, well, obviously you're not going to let them wear their rags down there, because you can't wear rags, and you're in a cage. And your club is going down there. And it caused the problem. But this is a sort of thing. How could you call yourself a biker going to a bike event and then you show up in a cage? It just makes absolutely no sense.
That's true.
I think it's disgusting.
I agree with you.
It is?
So you wrote down, do you ever look for just non-club members to take a ride with you?
Yeah, of course. My thing is, as long as you're on twos, if you're on, listen, the patch is just something that happens. If you're on twos, I respect that. I mean, a lot of independent riders wear that shirt, and I take that as they respect MC protocol and etiquette more than some people in the MC.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I know a lot of them who are like, they will never show up at an event in a car. I don't even understand that. I don't.
I
It
think
blows my mind.
what you're saying too is, I mean, I've always thought of when you're on a bike. I mean, you're going to Bike Week, wherever it is, Daytona, Sturgis, I don't care wherever it is, Mars. It's supposed to be the journey more than the destination. It's not so much getting there. Because let's face it, I went to Biketoberfest. I went to Biketoberfest years ago, right after 9/11 and all that. And a friend of mine was down there, and I flew down there. I mean, listen, I had a bike at the time, but I didn't have the time. I had a couple days, 4 days off. I flew down there, went down there to hang out with my buddy more than to go to the Biketoberfest. But it was going on. I think, hey, is there anything going on? Is it Biketoberfest? I was down there, and when you're down there and the event's going on, you really don't do a lot of riding.
No,
you park your bike and you walk up and down the strips and you go things.
That's right.
The ride. I mean, I do a lot of riding, so I mean, but
well, Vicky and I.
I'd like to finish this here. We want to finish reading this, and then.
All right, I think you're next. I was next.
You go next.
Your club does no community service.
Yeah.
Which we've had how many clubs on this on the show? We've talked about the Roll Radio show.
Right.
I mean the clubs. I mean you say it all the time how much the clubs do so much community service.
I have a slogan about people that do because they want to, not because they have to. And since I've been involved with motorcycles and motorcycle clubs and organizations, I have never met people that go out of their way to support something that they know nothing about just because it's the right thing to do.
And you know what? For the most part, I agree with you. So when I see clubs that their only interest is going to a party or going to the bikini washer, and I ask them, so what have you done for... that completely blows my mind. Yeah. And I'm like, you got to give back something.
You know what? We're going to hold for 2 seconds.
We got one more here.
We got one more? Okay.
Yeah. Your club doesn't know or follow MC etiquette and protocol. So, and that's something I want to touch on too, is that I've, for years I've been doing a lot of writing and stuff like that, and I've gone into this, I think we've talked about it a little bit. There are two different, I feel there are two different types of people out there. There are motorcycle enthusiasts, and there are people who I call bikers. Bikers are people who already know. They know the etiquette, and it's not anything to do with clubs. We were talking to one of the blogs the other day. A biker will ride by, he'll be riding down the road, he sees somebody broken down, he pulls over.
Right.
A motorcycle enthusiast is just a guy who bought a motorcycle. It might as well be a car because he's got no feeling behind it. It's just something he did because maybe he saw a commercial and thought, hey man, I'll be cool this week. He's probably going to ride it for a month, then sell it, on eBay. But I feel that a motorcycle enthusiast can become a biker. But it's up to people out there to teach them what it means to be a biker.
And it really
I was taught myself, I grew up with my father and my uncles and all that at Wall Road, and they weren't in a club or anything like that, but they behaved and had the brotherhood of any club. It was the beliefs, and they taught me what it meant. And the only other place I've really seen that besides the bikers is in the motorcycle clubs. So.
All right, listen, you're watching the Tom and LJ show, and we're here with the preacher from Sucker Free MC.
You got the shirt in front of you.
And we're going to do a commercial. We're going to be right back. We're going to continue to talk about this, some interesting stuff. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Ray, I don't know. Are you sure clicking this thing will get us online?
Well, try dragging it. Faster.
You're just a mouse click away from a better way to rent movies. Blockbuster Total Access. Movies through the mail plus movies through the store. One low price.
Here's the problem. We forgot to plug it in.
Oh! Don't even think about it!
Get a free trial at your Blockbuster store or Blockbuster.com.
Suffolk County Gold Refinery for the highest paid prices for your gold, diamonds, and jewelry with cash on the spot. Visit their showroom for unbelievable prices on fine jewelry and engagement rings. 71 Millbar Boulevard, Farmingdale, 631-777-CASH. Suffolk County Gold Refinery for the highest paid prices for your gold, diamonds, and jewelry with cash on the spot. Visit their showroom for unbelievable prices on fine jewelry and engagement rings. 71 Millbar Boulevard, Farmingdale, 631-777-CASH. For the highest paid prices for your gold, diamonds, and jewelry with cash on the spot. Suffolk County Gold Refinery, 631-777-CASH.
I was nervous about selecting the perfect paving stones for our project.
There are so many choices, I didn't want to make a mistake.
After all, it is our home.
It had to be the most beautiful patio.
An exquisite driveway. A stunning backyard oasis.
I chose Astro for the largest selection.
The best prices.
The magnificent displays.
The finest service and expert advice.
I chose
Astro.
Astro Masonry and Supply. Call 631-242-2567 or go to astromasonry.com.
Hi, this is Mickey B, the Prince of Rock and Roll. Join me for a special oldies show, Volume 2, Saturday, September 22nd, 7 p.m. at the Patchogue Theater, celebrating their 50th anniversary, starring the Duprees. The Brooklyn Reunion, Jimmy Gallagher and the Passions. Emil Stucchio and the Classics, The Mystics, Barbara Harris and the Toys, Larry Chance and the Earls, Still in Style, and Directions Limited. For tickets and information, call 516-822-9612, 516-822-9612, or MickeyB.com, sponsored by.
Okay, you're back here with the Preacher, Sucker Free MC. What a name on that. But you know what? The Preacher has brought us both T-shirts here. And LJ, do you want to put that on?
I do. I'm going to put it on.
Yeah, throw that on. God, you're looking so fabulous. Are you working out again?
I've been working out, man.
What, at Arby's or at McDonald's?
Well, a bit of both.
Okay.
Hey, listen, man. I'm not prejudiced.
No, I'm kidding. You know. And listen, you look
roast
good.
beef.
You look good.
Beef.
French fries, potato fries. It don't matter.
I think that the whole sexy quotient on that shirt's about to shoot up.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. There you go.
There you go.
Sucker Free MC.
There you go.
How did you come up? What size are you wearing? A large?
Probably not. I'm probably wearing a medium, probably.
He's thin and good
Get
shape.
him off the show. How did you come up with the name Sucker Free?
Well, you know what? It's by accident, because the first blog that I wrote, I happened to use that line. That line's actually from an old Run DMC song, where MC actually means E-M-C-E-E, literally talking about the people on the microphone. And what I obviously turned it around to mean was clubs that don't live up to, what I believe clubs should be living up to. So they essentially, you're a sucker. You're not real. You're not something I should consider. I won't even acknowledge a sucker club. So when the motto started to come out, we need to be a sucker-free MC nation. We're real MCs out here. Don't need to acknowledge or even interact with these pop-up clubs that don't know protocol, don't respect.
We used to call them mutts.
So, well, one thing I want to ask is now,
it's a little.
That's what they did down in Brooklyn. We called them a bunch of mutts.
It's harder to sell shirts than sell mutts. Maybe that's the thing.
Well, here's the thing, though, too, is I've gotten over the years a lot of people talking to me. What? You interrupted?
I'm tying my shoe. No,
it's difficult for you? A lot of people come to me and say, hey, listen, I hung out with this club and, they're a bunch of wannabes, or this club is not, and I said, well, why are they wannabes? And they said, well, they're a mom and pop club. They ride here, they go together with their wives, and they go to some place together, and that's not what I want. I want this. I want to be where we're going out. And my whole thing I try to explain to people is those people are not wannabes. Those people are doing what they wanted. They're a club that wants to ride with their wives, the husband and wives, and go to family destinations and maybe bring their kids to barbecues and all that. But those people I like, all right? It's the people that start a club like that, but then run around and try to pretend like they're one percenters or something like that. And, I try to explain a lot of times people, Jay Allen, I know Jay Allen's a very well-known writer. He does a lot of stuff like that. I've always really liked his stuff. He gave the best explanation, I think, that I figured what a one percenter is. And one percenter is not just, I think, he wrote it kind of as a standpoint of not just motorcycle clubs. A one percenter is, say you have a party and there's 101 people at that party, all right? There's 101 people there. One guy is acting belligerent. He's acting rude. He's knocking stuff over. He's grabbing stuff. He's smacking ladies on the ass. He's just ruining the whole party for everybody. Now, 99% of the people are going to, in the world, ignore that guy because they don't want any problems. They don't want a confrontation. They want to say, oh, that guy's mean, he might hit me. They're afraid, and they just don't want the problem. A 1%er is not a bully. He's not a bad guy, but he's the guy who's going to go over and he's going to say, you know what? It's time for you to go home. You have to leave. You ruin the party for everybody. He's going to be a man, you know? And he's going to go over there and take it. And that's what a 1%er, to me, I've always thought of as what a 1%er is. It's a guy who stands up for what's right and does the right thing at whatever cost it is necessary. Whatever, you know. And if he has to do what he's got to do, he's got to do what he's got to do.
I'm going to put you on the spot for a second. What do you think of the 1%ers?
You know what? You know, I never look at people or give an opinion over an entire category, right? Because that's sort of like, you know, it's like that's like asking, what do you think of Asians? What do you think of blacks? But I'll say this: I'm much more comfortable around 1%ers than I am any other type of person in the motorcycle community as a whole. And the reason being is because they're very much like diamonds. 1%ers are diamonds in that they're clear, they're transparent, their intentions usually are right up in front, and they're not hiding anything. You know,
I don't think it's better than that. That's a great interpretation.
I think I think 1%ers are basically what America was founded. I think George Washington and the guys who stood up and said, "Screw Britain, we're coming our own." That's the kind of thing. The people who rise up and do. What did they say? Screw Britain. Oh, sorry, Evie. That was a long time ago, man. I didn't even have to put some of
that was a long time ago.
That was Colin talk.
That was when the king was a queen.
Oh man, she's walking off the show now.
That's Evie Turner. She's actually running our boards tonight.
Yeah. I gotta be nice.
She's flipping us the bird.
I would have never said screw England. I would still stay under English rule and all that.
But you got to admit that bitch is stuck up.
Who, Evie?
No, the queen. Well, but you know the queen.
The queen?
Yeah.
I never met her.
Did you ever see her walk out? I mean, with her. Come on with those.
They usually change the channel.
She's a little uptight.
She is uptight.
A little bit.
I think she's a stuck-up
I'm American,
bitch.
man.
You know, but then again, you know those Brits how they can be. But anyway, that's not. You know. So,
what are some of the things though? Now over the past year and all that. I mean. Like you said, that, you know, it surprised you how much it accepted.
Yeah, it's taken off.
Now, listen, I mean, I know, and I'm sure. What are some of the, you don't have to give any names or anything, have you gotten those emails where someone turns around and says, who the hell are you to tell me, tell us how it's supposed to be, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And,
you know, I tell people what's incredible. I've gotten emails from 1%ers who completely support what I do. You know, they're like, we love the fact that you're talking about this, you're doing this, you're doing it. It's, ironically enough, it's the so-called bad guys of the community are telling me, good job. It's the sucker MCs, essentially, who are calling me like, who the hell are you to say that, you know, we can't bedazzle our cuts. We can't put gems on our ads. Why is that wrong? And I'm like, well, I'll tell you 100 reasons. And, you know, I start to tell them, and, you know, either they're going to get upset or not. But this is the thing I found. When people are consistently doing things wrong, and then you come around, not only do you tell them that it's wrong, but you show them, you know, through historical this and that, you expose them to other people who are like, yeah, he's pretty much right. You look a little gay right now doing that. And either they're going to accept it, or they just get angry at you. And either way, at some point, you know, I'm not a violent guy, but I'm like, look, what's the point here? You asked me, I told you, I answered you.
You don't like the answer.
Now, you were in a club, correct? Yeah. Okay. And can he name this club?
No, we don't know these any names.
All right. You are now out of that club.
I am out of that club.
What was the reason for leaving?
Because they were suckers. They were, I mean, you know, I'm not, and this is what it is. I'm a very upfront guy. I'm very black and white. There's no point in living in the gray, right? So when I patched into this club, there are things that I immediately, you know, said to them. And for instance, number one, you're not sanctioned by your dominant. You know, you guys have been here for nearly 10 years. Did you go to your dominant to get sanctioned? Nah, we're not going to do that. And then that's where another issue comes up where it's very big for me is race. You know, we're not going to go, what I was told was, we're not going to go to white boys to get sanctioned. I'm like, are they white, or are they red and white, or are they this color, or are they that? What color are they? because I never noticed the color on any biker's skin. I noticed the color on his rags. That's the only colors that matter to me. And then you react accordingly that way. So I wasn't going to be in a club where they're looking at people's skin color as opposed to the color of their rags.
How do you relate to companies, organizations, businesses who support heavily the biker community and are always there in support of what they're doing but cannot be part of a club?
I mean, first you have to find out why.
Why they're supporting it?
Why they're not part of the club.
All right. Let's take, for instance...
Well, you're going to get fired from your job.
Like,
I know people who are in the post office.
I'm talking about... Now, I work with the Harrison Law Group.
Mm-hmm.
It's a law firm.
Sure.
Unfortunately, we are governed by certain laws of the state that allow us to do certain things, and which falls under the ethical, unethical issues. Now, we cannot be part of a club, especially a 1% club, as a law firm. So, as a law firm, even though what I do, I ride, and I love to ride, and I love to be out there, and I wear my leather jacket, and I put my patches on it, but I cannot be part of an individual club, but yet I still am very much involved with supporting whatever those clubs do.
Well, let me ask you the question here. I mean,
so let me ask you the second part of that.
Well, the whole thing here is what comes to my mind is that you're saying you can't be part of this. Now, I knew somebody who was part of a 1% club, and he was going to get a pistol permit, and they said, no, you can't because this club is known to engage in criminal activity.
That's state.
Now, listen. In its statement, and what annoyed me was the fact that not only had the club never engaged in criminal activity, the club had never even been accused of criminal activity, right. But because the club was a 1% club, that it was assumed. Right. The person did not want to go and fight it, but therefore to me it's like, listen, how could this is an independent club by itself, all right? It's not, and it listen, and it goes back to what you were saying before. It's like when he said had hit his old club that are you sanctioned? And it's more of, I think, to keep peace. I mean, I've been to events, when I was in the club I was in, you would see this club shows up, and I'm here with this club, maybe 2 or 3 other clubs. And some other club shows up, and kind of, you've seen it, we all seen it, is that look like, who are these guys? Who are these guys? Right. And, it's kind of that stare down a little bit, like, who are... But, unfortunately, the one night, I was there, and one of the guys came over to me from this other club, and he said, hey, I was walking around, he said, hey, I know who you are, I read your article, I just read this the other day, he introduced me to his president, the next thing you know, everybody's hanging out, and everybody's friendly, and I think what it comes down to is it's not so much going to ask for permission, hey, listen, can we be, it's more of going and saying, hey, listen, we're here, you're here, we want to say, listen, we just want to say, listen, let's all be friends, let's all get along. It's a matter of showing respect and saying we're here. It's knowing, and someone else, I'm going to quote someone else, told me, it's knowing who's who and who's who. Let's all know each other.
Back to that, I want to know now. I can't do that because the state says that you can't, or the state says that you should.
Because they assume it's a criminal organization.
All right, now, would I be a sucker?
No, I mean, obviously, look, there are certain professions that don't allow you to be affiliated there, or don't want you to be affiliated there. I know people who still do it. I know judges who are 1%ers. I know police officers who are 1%ers, and they make sure that
they're members of a specific club.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
and the club knows. They'll reveal that to the club, but they don't reveal that to the employers. And I say I'll give you an example. A few weeks ago, I was wearing my cut and I have my whatever patches on. It's my personal rags. And someone said to me, you don't look like, someone who would be in a gang. And I looked at her and I said, well, the Catholics are really trying really hard to clean up their image. They're working on that whole priest sleeping with little boys thing. And she looked at me and she's like, what are you talking about? She's like, what gang are you talking about? Are you talking about the fact that I'm Catholic because I have the crucifix? And she just looked at me. And she just didn't know what to say. The whole point is, you know, it's like you get lumped in just because you look a certain way. And I'm like, you know what? I was raised Catholic, and to me, they've perpetrated more crimes than any organization that you can think of.
Yeah. I mean, the police force. I mean, you know, you try to, you know, you see they commit more crimes because it's like they think they can get away with it. I mean, it's constant nowadays.
You know what we were talking about earlier. I got arrested up in Shitville because I went to the aid of an old man who was being abused by 5 cops. And obviously, I looked like a dirtbag because I was full of blood from hunting, and it was up there in the mountains. And they thought that I was one of the regulars. They pepper sprayed me from 4 inches from my eye, cuffed me, threw me. I mean, they had no idea until they got me to the station. Then they found out who it was, and everything starts changing. But what? Oh, I get confused because they waved their hands But anyway, now I lost my train of thought. Anyway, but the point is I forget what we were talking about. Ken, you're on.
Well, I think the one thing I have to say is that, you know, I mean, I know we've only got a few minutes left here, but I've enjoyed the blog. I've been reading it. I really enjoyed it. I made a lot of comments. That's what we've gotten. This is the first time we're actually meeting. We've talked for probably close to a year online, back and forth. There's been many things I haven't agreed with him on. There's been many things I have agreed with him on. But I've enjoyed the conversations that we've had online. And I think that debates, when two people can debate each other and talk, you know, and not get mad at each other, that to me is two intelligent people. All right? I think the main thing is that what he's saying and what I've been saying for years is that it's the job. It's the job of all bikers. Like, I get tired of hearing how the new bikers aren't the same as the old bikers. Of course they're not. Every generation is going to be different. If we're not teaching them the beliefs, you know, hey, listen, when you see someone on the side of the road, pull over and help them out. You know, this is a brotherhood here, you know. It's a matter of a family, you know. Bring something to the table. Always bring something to the table. Don't just be there taking from the table all the time. We have to teach them that. And that's why I think I became a writer, and I've been doing, and I think, you know, what your blog is doing is teaching it. And I think it's doing too now is it's bringing the different fractions of, you know, whether you want to say, you know, the sport bikes or the different colored clubs and all that. The biker world is going to wave this finish up. This is becoming smaller and smaller and becoming tighter. It's becoming more united. And I think that my belief is that the only way to survive, for the motorcycle clubs to survive, because I think the government wants to erase all of them, is to be united and work together now rather than later after they've already struck the first blow that's been detrimental to all the clubs. And I think that's what's going to happen. We need to work together now.
We gotta wrap up. It's that time again. You are watching the Tom and LJ show. We are here with the preacher from Sucker MC, Sucker Free MC.
You had to read the shirt. You still got it wrong.
You know, between you and them out there, I don't know which one I want to shoot first. Thank God I don't have my pistols anymore. I took those away because of fucking.
It's all good.
People, yeah. But anyway, you've been watching the Tom and LJ show here. It is Thursday night. Listen, I want you to remember to stay tuned. Tomorrow night, I think the Evie Turner show is canceled tomorrow night.
What?
Evie's filming out in, you know, because she's become a Hollywood star now.
She's becoming...
I don't know. But hey, listen, we do have a couple of good things I want you to watch.
She's selling her autograph.
A couple of brand new shows that are out, and we do have a new show that's starting. I can't tell you who's going to be doing it. I can't tell you who's going to be on, but I can tell you that it
Why, you forgot their name?
It is a tattoo It is a tattoo company, and they will be tattooing live here on the Madhouse, taking phone calls every week. It's almost like that Miami Ink.
That should be as exciting as the knitting show you have.
So if you got questions about tattoos, that's an up-and-come show. Don't forget to watch Tommy Marr on Monday night. The new Mickey B show that's coming, and we also have Steve Stranges. What is it? How do you pronounce it? Strangio. Steve Strangio, starting Wednesday night. Don't miss Steve. He's a great guy. He's going to be bringing some dynamite commentary and material here. All right, you're finished up. Thank you, preacher. It's been a
Thank you very much, man.
We're out. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place.